If you've been following this 2-week series, this is the local and legal action list that ties it all together. Now, if you own a property in Spokane Valley, Coeur d'Alene, or anywhere in Kootenai County or Spokane County, the next 5 minutes are built for you. I'm Robert Homewood with Open Lane Funding, and today we're covering two things. We're going to be hitting our local market conditions and a federal regulatory deadline that's closer than most investors realize. So let's start local. Spokane Valley's median asking price is sitting at $467,000. That's up just 0.4% month over month through July, essentially flat. The Spokane Association of Realtors hasn't published a new monthly report in this window, so the standing figure remains at June's 562 sales at a median of $436,250. Now, that is up 13.9% year over year, though that figure has diverged notably from other city-level data sources and needs confirmation when the July report lands somewhere in mid-August. The Kootenai County and Coeur d'Alene continue to show real dispersion depending upon the data source, anywhere from roughly $55,000 to about $730,000 for a median sold price. That spread is a new market, or isn't a new market signal. It reflects differing methodologies between median sold price and median list price. And then you have to throw in Zillow's home value index. But it does mean that you need to know which number your comp set is actually using. Two local legislative items worth knowing. Idaho's Senate Bill 1354 for the accessory dwelling unit mandate is now in effect. This requires cities to comply by February 1st, 2027, and Idaho's House Bill 583, which preempts local short-term rental restrictions, took effect on July 1st, with no reported compliance disputes so far, and Kootenai County jurisdictions are now repealing the conflicting local ordinances. On the insurance side, the Washington's Office of Insurance Commissioner data shows homeowners' insurance rates increases have actually plateaued, falling 0.5% as of May 1st, after peaking at a plus 21.7% in 2024. Now, that's generally favorable trend for the debt service coverage ratio underwriting in our local area. Now, here's the regulatory countdown piece. The Road to Housing Act became law on July 11th, and it's now entering its implementation and rulemaking phase. Here's why that matters. Any institutional client, meaning a fund, a REIT subsidiary, or affiliated entity group controlling 350 or more single-family homes nationally, faces a compliance deadline approximately January 7th, 2027. Civil penalties for violation reach up to $1 million per violation, or 3 times the purchase price, whichever is greater. If this kind of local data plus federal breakdown is valuable, subscribe, follow, because we will keep tracking this regulatory timeline as it develops. But here's what most people miss: the practical compliance timeline for several provisions, including environmental review, streamlining, and manufacturing housing cases elimination, may actually lag the statutory January deadline, because federal housing agencies still need to finalize rulemaking before those provisions become operationally usable. Now, that's a meaningful nuance if you're advertising institutional clients or if you're competing against them for acquisitions. Now, separately, keep an eye on the federal housing appropriations. The House has approved its fiscal year 2027 funding bill. The Senate hasn't released its counterpart yet, which points toward a continuing resolution through the midterm election season. A funding continuity risk for the Federal Housing Program Administration that hasn't gotten much attention. So here's your action plan heading into the fall. If you're a non-institutional investor, this law mostly doesn't touch you directly, but it does affect you if you're competing against for acquisitions in your market with heavy institutional single-family rental presence. If you're evaluating a joint venture or a partnership involving an institutional entity, get clarity now on which side of that 350 home threshold they sit on. As part of this report date, none of this constitutes legal advice, and rate figures mentioned throughout this series are current lender indications, not guarantees. That wraps up this 2-week series. If you want actual loan scenarios ran through or deal structures behind all these numbers, book a call at openlanefunding.com. Thank you, everyone.